Normally, feathers decay quickly, so it's a very rare situation for something like this to still be in good condition. Feathers don't seem like something you would want to protect yourself with, so this is most likely used for ceremonial purposes. This here is a 16th century piece that is being held in a museum in Vienna. Number 14. The Viking longboat. Vikings were masters of woodwork and craftsmanship that struck fear into their enemy. Some ships were designed for cargo, others for war. Since wooden objects tend to not be well preserved 1,000 years into the future, we're extremely lucky for an original longboat that still exists. Thanks to this artifact, we know the true form and ways these masterpieces were created. Number 13. The Terracotta Army. Imagine bringing an entire army with you into the afterlife. At the mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, a unique statue of each soldier is created from terracotta clay by hand, and not one is 100% similar. This took over 40 years to finish, since Qin was a 13-year-old boy. The army is complete with more than 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots, and 670 horses. Still to this day, no one has opened the emperor's tomb, and he is left to rest in peace. Number 12. The Ubaid lizard. In modern-day Iraq, these 7,000-year-old humanoid figurines were discovered. Even before the rise of the civilization of Sumeria, the Ubaidian culture settled in this region, and little is known about their origins. These bizarre figurines each had a different pose and were important to their culture. Many questions still remain, like what exactly did these lizard people represent? Number 11. The Baghdad battery. Is it possible that ancient civilizations had electricity powered by batteries much earlier than we thought? This artifact was found in Baghdad and is believed to date back to 250 BC. It is basically a ceramic pot with tubes of metal, and the jar was filled with some sort of liquid. Most likely, acidic fruit juice like lemon juice or vinegar was added, and this would somehow generate an electric flow with the copper and iron rods. Maybe they knew more than we thought. Number 10. The ancient Egyptian glider. This small wooden object, also known as the Saqqara bird, was found near the city of Saqqara, Egypt in 1898, 5 years before the invention of the airplane. This was believed to be a sacred object since the god Horus takes the form of a falcon. This glider makes many historians wonder if the ancient Egyptians designed the first flying aircraft. A replica model was tested and it flew quite well, surprising basalt. They are also found in lime and sandstone. What do you think these mysterious stones were for? Some claim they lead to the chief's compound. Number 8. 36,000-year-old meat freezer. Scientists in Siberia found bodies of woolly mammoths' carcasses fully preserved from the extreme cold and snow. They were completely frozen solid for thousands of years under permafrost, which has preserved their bodies from prehistoric times. This keeps them in an almost perfect condition, as if they were hunted yesterday. Since mammoths are extinct, this makes it an incredible find, and their remains will be an artifact from the past that will be intensively researched. Number 7. The Roman Dodecahedron. This is a small metal object that dates back to around the 2nd or 3rd century AD, and many of these strange things have been found in the former territories of the Roman Empire. Each one is different, but has the same overall shape. It looks like an underwater mine to me. Each hole in this object is a different size, and no one can figure out exactly what it's for. Tests have been done, and some claim they're used for making gloves. This theory would make sense, but they are a strange object from the past with much debate. Number 6. Prehistoric hammerhead. This hammerhead was found in London, Texas, in 1936 while hiking, and it seemed like this object didn't belong covered in granite. How could this be possible? The hammer is 6 inches long and 1 inch in diameter and is made of primarily iron. There have been no conflicting reports, and it can be seen in a museum. But how? So what came first, the rock or the hammer? Skeptics argue that rocks could have stuck to the hammer around the Cretaceous period, but the hammer seems to have the design from about 200 years ago. Certainly something that puzzles geologists. Number 5. The horned helmet of Henry VIII. This strange design is technically called an armet, which means horned helmet. This was a gift presented by the Holy Roman Emperor in 1514. The craftsmanship of this helmet made King Henry want something a little better each time, and his standards increasingly got more specific, even though this was one of his favorite pieces. What makes this design unique is how it covers the entire